Hello, guys, and welcome to today's tropical update. And once again, we are still talking about Cyclone Batsirai, excuse me. Um, as you can see, it has degraded a little bit since yesterday's update, but it's still up there. It's still 120 knots or 140 miles per hour. It was up to 130 knots around the 6C time frame, but it's since caused some upwelling, and that attempted eye wall replacement cycle will put a stop to some of that strengthening as of right now. As you can see, this system is located at 18.9 south, 56.1 east, and like I said, winds are up to 120 knots or 140 miles per hour, and the minimal system pressure is 936 millibars. And as you can see, the CDO has cooled a little bit. So as you can see, it's not as defined as it was before because of that upwelling and that failed attempted IWAR replacement cycle. It still looks pretty decent though. You can see this big outer band here that's stretching out from the main body of the system. And as you can see, these two islands here, they're just getting wrecked right now. There's some damage reports and all that coming out from these islands. Um, as you guys know, this system is moving slowly, so these islands have had to deal with gale force winds are higher for the last 24 or so hours, and they're just getting just wrecked right now with whatever the system is bringing to it. And as you can see, it's not that far away from Madagascar right now. Say if this was moving like a normal, like a normal tropical cyclone would, it would probably be there like the next 24 to 36 hours. But it's not. It's moving slowly. And as a result, this is just making the agonizing wait even longer than it typically should. All right, so here is the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and as you can see, it's it's not looking too good here. You're probably looking at a major cyclone landfall here, probably 100 knots, maybe 110. Depending on how fast it moves, because upwelling is a problem with this thing right now. That's why it's not as defined as it was, say, going 24 hours ago when I made my last update. Uh, as you can see, it's going to traverse the Madagascar island of Africa. Um, and as you see, it survives the trip. And now we're looking at getting back up to a Category 1 cyclone here as we go out through time. So, you know, people over here on the mainland of Africa may have to watch this, but right now the models are trending towards a turn to the south, which obviously is a good thing for those people. Obviously, you're still going to feel effects, probably, most likely, but right now we're going to be dealing with Madagascar and, La Reunion Island and Mauritius Island. I probably said that wrong. Please forgive me if I did. We're going to be worrying about these places right now, as these are the places that are going to be imminent with the impacts, and some of them have been feeling the impacts for the last 24 hours. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the GFS track and minimal MSLP here, and as you can see, it's a strong boy here. Um, as you can see, starting point is 936 millibars, which is dead on. And as you can see, it does weaken a bit down to 954 millibars before making landfall. Who's to say if this is going to be weaker than that or stronger than that? Only time will tell if that's going to be the case or not. So right now, Madagascar should be preparing for a major cyclonic landfall from Batsirai. That's just I don't see anything really stopping this from doing any minor damages. It's probably gonna be some major impacts like storm surge, rain, those very, 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 very strong gusty winds, freshwater flooding. You know, these areas are still reeling from the effects of Tropical Cyclone Anna that came through about 10 or so days ago. And, you know, these they don't need this right now. That's going to just, you know, aggravate the situation over there. They're still probably feeling the effects of some flooding over there as we speak. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the European. We're only gonna take a look at the ECMWF, aka the European and the GFS today, and maybe and the HWRF. So as you can see, this was initialized at 12Z today, and it it's you know it's 20 millibars higher than it is right now. And as you can see, we're gonna go out through time. 24 hours out now, that's a little bit more acceptable for what it is right now at 937 millibars. So we'll go 48 hours, 943, and then it kind of makes landfall here at the 69-hour mark as a 954 millibar, probably a Category 3 Batsirai, right into the center of the Madagascar Islands. So we're gonna go out, and as you see, it doesn't really move all that quickly. You're gonna get a lot of heavy rain from this. That's just the sad truth of it. And you know, as it gets out into the channel here, it's gonna start to strengthen again. But like I said, we'll focus on that a little bit later. We're gonna deal with the immediate threat here, which is Madagascar. So since you know this got updated, now we can see the total accumulations here, and it doesn't really paint a pretty picture here. We're looking at the same as what we saw last night, 300 to 500 millimeters of rain, which is like I said, 13 to 21 inches of rain. You're talking about 1 to almost 2 feet of rain. That is out there. That's a lot of rain to happen in just less than a 5 days time. You're talking about extremely heavy rainfall from some of those sitting bands. You could get even more than 21 inches. It all just depends on how a band is set up, and if that band don't move, that's going to be the big problem. If the band don't move, you're going to get flooded. That's just how it is. All right, so here is the GFS here, and as you see, it initialized at 924 millibars, which is a Category 5. Which right now it's definitely not a Category 5. It's a solid Category 4, with 140 miles per hour, and I think, like I said, 936 millibars. So this is initialized a little bit too strong. So we're gonna go 24 hours out. It does some weakening, 936 millibars, and then it makes landfall probably in the high 940s, which is a very, very solid Category 3 landfall strike here. Like I said, this is something that they do not want. And as you can see, it moves a little quicker than the European going across the island, but it's still not a good sign. And as you can see this yellows and reds is parked here on the eastern side of Madagascar, and that's what I was talking about. Those those sitting, stalling, standing bands that just train over the same locations over and over and over and over again. And that's what the GFS is painting right here, is that massive amounts of very, very heavy rain. So I'm telling you guys right now, yeah. Here, let's take it. Before I say that, let's take a look at the GF total precipitation. It's like I said, 13 to 21 inches of rain. I'm telling you right now, if one of those bands sit in one place, you're gonna get more than 21 inches of rain. I can tell you that for right now. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna take a look at the HWRF here, and as you can see, this was initialized at 18Z, and this. Why does that say 972 millibars? Is this thing broken? Okay, never mind. All right, this is better. I just had another blunder there. as you can see, this was initialized at 18C, and it's initialized pretty good. It's actually spot on at 936 millibars. So we're gonna go out through time here, and as you can see, it's strengthened. It stays about stable, pretty much stable as it goes right into Madagascar here at 900 and like 40 something millibars. So as you can see, it shows winds of 111 knots, which is a pretty solid category. Yeah, category high end category 3 to low end category 4, and it's just a dangerous situation there in Madagascar as we go forward through time. So with that being said, I'll keep my eyes on this for you. Listen to your local television weather people for updates as we go out through time. We got about 2 or 3 days left to watch this system and see what it does, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on this system for you guys. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow with another update. Take care, be safe, get everything done, and I'll see you guys then.